Hello, this is Khabir Southwick, uh, Traditional Naturopath, Ayurvedic Practitioner, and Herbalist in beautiful Ojai. This is lesson 3 in my series called Self-Care, Not Healthcare. And the title of this lesson is Learn How Toxic You Are. We can say that all diseases, illnesses, to some degree, are a result of toxicity in our body. We know since the Industrial Revolution that our water, our air, the food that we eat has all become more toxic. With toxins, in this case, are defined as those substances which are uh, inorganic and not digestible by the body and often unable to be eliminated by the body, such as the case of heavy metal toxicity. But also, toxins are a result of poor digestion. If you eat a meal late at night and your body's unable to digest it because you went to sleep, and that meal sits in the GI tract and ferments, and the digestive system is not really focused on it because it's doing other metabolic activities in the evening, then this so-called undigested food becomes toxic. Ayurveda, we call it ama. So this ama accumulation of toxicity due to poor digestion and poor eating habits generally results in a greater amount of toxicity. So what you want to do is first assess yourself by looking at your main eliminating channels, your colon, your kidney bladder pathway, your skin, your lungs, and your liver, and help them to eliminate better and to see which ones are maybe congested or need more assistance in helping to eliminate the toxins that they've accumulated. I believe in our modern age, because of the increase of the level of toxins in our environment, as I mentioned, we have to be more proactive in the eliminating these toxins and to assist our body more and more to help to eliminate these, to keep up with the pace of toxins that we're having to endure in our daily lives through just drinking water and breathing the air and eating the food, these environmental toxins that we're having to deal with. But the first step is to improve your digestion so you're not creating more toxins, and improve your eating habits like not eating at night and such. And then next is to look at your eliminating organs. We can start with the colon. Signs of toxicity or buildup of fecal matter in the colon can be seen just by looking at your tongue. Look at your tongue early in the morning, and if you see a film across your tongue, particularly in the back of the tongue, the center of the back would represent more your colon, the middle of your tongue would represent more your small intestinal tract, and of course if the whole tongue was very covered with a film, whether it's white or yellowish, this would mean congestion and toxic buildup in the GI tract. And of course, tongue reading is a real science in itself, and it reveals a lot about the state of the GI tract in a whole and the level of toxicity in the body. So during any cleanse, keep observing your tongue. If your tongue is pink and clean, then it's maybe not a time for you to detoxify. And we can see this with children. They generally have clean and pinkish tongues until they grow up and accumulate more toxins like adults. So for the colon, obviously the signs of toxicity, besides looking at your tongue, would be foul-smelling stools, foul-smelling flatulence, gas, bloating, easily gas and bloating to, say, beans, even if they're well cooked or soaked prior to cooking, and you didn't have the same problems in the past. Always compare yourself to how you did 10 years ago. If these foods didn't bother you 10 years ago, then you generally have a new issue that's created the problem. If you were digesting dairy 10 years ago, and slowly you had more and more difficulty with it, and now it gives you gas and bloating. You may find that after detoxifying yourself, particularly your colon and your small intestines, that you're able to once again have a dairy. So the colon generally should start with the colon, cleansing the colon first. Most people can benefit from a colon cleanse, except those who are weak, frail, or young children, or those who don't have any signs of toxicity. But if you're constipated or you have a long history of constipation, then your probability of needing a colon cleanse is quite high. And it will help you with your constipation. Instead of continuing to take laxatives, then cleansing out the colon naturally will help. In Ayurveda, the three methods for cleansing is a mono diet called khichdi, which is a white basmati rice and split mung beans and some spices and some steamed vegetables. So it's not a fasting diet to cleanse out the colon, because you need the fiber. You need some bulk moving through the colon to help to scrape and cleanse out the colon slowly over a period of time. Most of us have accumulated this extra fecal matter in the colon over many years, and it's not going to come out quickly. So a mono diet of the khichdi or other types of mono diets, there's many variations of mono diets, even fruit mono diets, like just eating apples or just eating grapes for a few days, is a type of mono diet that can be very cleansing for the colon. Of course, the kapha will do best on the apples, and the pitta or vata would do best on the grapes. So each person would have a different degree. Generally, the pitta type doesn't have constipation, so they tend not to have as much congestion in the colon and tend not to need laxatives. So then they can just use a colon cleansing herbs like a triphala. But for those who have constipation, may have to take some castor oil initially to kind of have a purge, get the bowels moving, and then be taking the colon cleansing herbs with mild laxatives throughout the cleanse to keep the bowels going. Of course, the best way really to cleanse the colon is using an enema bag, much better than colon hydrotherapy in many ways. One, colon hydrotherapy, you're not able to add salt or herbs or even probiotics, but with your own enema bag in your own home, you can add herbs that can help you. You can add salt to help you retain the water, and you can even put in probiotics to help directly replenish these healthy bacteria in the colon directly. And it's much faster than taking them through the mouth, because these healthy bacteria do live in the colon, so putting them in an enema is very effective. So I would say that it's important for everybody to really own an enema bag. There's many uses for it, even for children who have fevers and children who are constipated. An enema is really the easiest way to break that constipation. Of course, everything can be abused, and people do become habitually addicted to using enemas, and this is not healthy. But of course, there's many things we can do to get our bowels going. But enema is very effective for cleansing out the colon, and that's obviously the best place to start. It's a big subject. I think you should look at other videos that I have on colon cleansing and detoxification, and I will have individual videos for each organ and system. So liver detoxification is also very important. We know that the liver is responsible for accumulating toxins from the blood and packaging them up in the bile and having them go out with the fiber in our meals. This is another reason why we need fiber to properly allow the bile to get out of the system. And herbs, again, are the most effective way to detoxify the liver. There's Ayurvedic herbs, and there's many Western herbs, dandelion root, milk thistle, burdock root. Taking this in a tea 2 or 3 times a day before meals for a couple weeks can help improve liver function tremendously. Juicing with dark leafy greens that are high in chlorophyll, and some beets and other root vegetables like carrots can also help to detoxify the liver. So liver, I would say, is number 2. Most of us can benefit from liver detoxification. And of course, if you have multiple chemical sensitivities where everything is bothering you, smoke, detergents, then we could say that your liver is already overwhelmed. Signs of liver toxicity are generally skin conditions, rashes, candida often is reoccurring due to a weak bile output. And of course, the liver can also be congested along with the gallbladder and fatty liver. So this also is a type of toxin to the body because it's congestive. You also have the kidney bladder pathway, those people who are having to get up at night and urinate or getting reoccurring urinary tract infections, urgent urination, having to run to the toilet. These are probably minor urinary tract infections or bladder infections, but we could also call them toxins, and we could flush these out through a kidney bladder cleansing program to get these accumulation of congestive material that has created the environment for us to have these infections. The lymphatic system, the drainage system of our body, also can benefit from detoxification. This is why warm oil massage is very effective, steam baths, dry saunas, and other ways, including dry brushing, Epsom salt baths. These are all ways to help the body to get the lymphatic system going, to detoxify through the skin, and help to eliminate toxins. So what the lesson really is first to identify where are my toxins, what do I need to focus on. But as I mentioned, generally start with the colon, then the liver, then the kidney, and lymphatic system. And then look at heavy metals, which is another subject on its own, and how to detoxify them. So if you find that you feel you're very toxic, if you're overweight and heavy and you have a lot of congestion and very low appetite and the film on your tongue, then you could assume that you are very toxic, and you should really start your self-care with detoxification. That should be where you start, not with nutritional therapy or supplements, because the supplements may not be of much benefit to you until you detoxify your body. So this is often the first step in any therapy if a toxin level is very high. So I hope that helps you prioritize the importance of detoxification. The only last thing I'd like to say is it should be an annual process. Every spring in particular, you should focus on detoxification over a couple months to avoid building up these toxins year after year. Thank you very much, and I look forward to your comments and feedback.